Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread. Thank you for joining me today. Today is Saturday, December 13th, 2025. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My channel is on my hobbies. Right now that's primarily cross-stitching with a little bit of sewing and quilting. I've started to do some quilting and I'm hooked again. I also enjoy paper crafting. I like to make greeting cards, gift tags, gift card holders, treat boxes, that kind of thing. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm glad that you came by. You stopped by to see what I have been up to this week. This week did not go as planned. I was actually quite frustrated. Very frustrated. I did not get a fraction of the stitching done that I had hoped I would. I went in late on Tuesday and worked late on Tuesday because one of my employees had a baby a little early, so I was filling in for her at one of our training, although it was a party, one of our little parties for our volunteers that we do at this time of year. And I also, then I woke up on Wednesday and I had a headache and I couldn't shake it. And so I thought, eat something, take a sinus medicine, take some Advil, it'll clear up. So when I feel that bad, I often crave like an Egg McMuffin. So I texted a couple people at work. I said, I am in slow motion. I have a really bad headache. I am trying to get there. I will get there as soon as I possibly can. They're like, no problem. I roll in at like 9:40. I think it was about 9:40. Egg McMuffin in hand. I sit down. I answer a few questions that some employees had for me, and I started to do my email, and I started to test our new registration system, and I couldn't see very well. I couldn't focus. My headache was not getting better after taking the medicine, and so I called it after maybe an hour. I don't even think it was a full hour. I went home. And I laid down probably within 20 minutes of getting home, and I slept. So probably I got home like at 10:45. I was laying down on the couch by like maybe 11:10 at the latest. I did not wake up until 2:15. Still had the headache. I used to get these headaches really, really badly. They would knock me out for days. It has gotten better. I was out in camp quite a bit this week. I think that was part of it because we were a little unseasonably warm. We had our Santa Ana conditions kick in. So all of that dust and pollen and stuff from the desert flows out this way, and it gets me every time. I'm actually feeling pretty fortunate because I think from late September through the mid-November is when I usually get these headaches, and I don't think I had one, and if I did, it was manageable and I could take some medicine and it would go away. I don't remember going home for one, but I did. So I lost Wednesday at work because I was, home sleeping. And then I couldn't stitch. I pulled something out. I did start something, but I didn't get very far on it. So that was frustrating. I just felt blah. Woke up on Thursday, still had a little bit of a headache, not as badly. My boss, she's like, how are you feeling today? And I'm like, I'm better. I'm going to come in. I still have that headache, but it's completely manageable. I can see, I can, have a thought, a full and complete thought. So I'll be in. So I went in. We were prepping for our fall, Santa's Festive Forest, where we took our camp and we decorated the trees with the lights and had games and activities and snacks and hot chocolate and coffee and food trucks and the whole thing for a little bit of a fundraiser. So I worked out in the camp on Thursday most of the day. Went straight from work to a friend's Christmas party. We get together once a month on the second Thursday of every month. This was Christmas party night, so I went straight to the restaurant. I was pretty darn tired, but I went. And then we went in a little later. I went in about an hour and a half later than I normally do on Friday, just because so much still needed to be done to set up for the event. I will insert pictures. Camp looked gorgeous. It was so pretty in lights, but it was one night. It was cold. And I know for some of you that are sitting in, tons of snow, I don't know what cold is, and you're right. But for Southern California, out in a camp where it has its own microclimate, it was chilly. But it was a 4-hour event. It was lovely. Everybody had a really great time. A little bit of shenanigans, that goes on. So that was kind of fun. And so I mean that went really well. But I didn't get home until 9:30, maybe 9:30, 9:45, and I was tired, so I don't think I pulled out my stitching. No, I did pull out my stitching, actually, and I got home probably closer to 9:15, 9:30, so I pulled out my stitching, and I sat there and I watched Dateline or something and stitched until a little after 11, and then I went to bed. So with everything that went on, not feeling well on Wednesday, being out 3 evenings, I did not get much done. I'm very frustrated by it. I keep thinking that tomorrow is Christmas, even though I know that it's not. So, yeah, that was kind of my week. I did get a little bit of paper crafting done last weekend. I am working on treat boxes for the kids. I don't think I have a photo. Where's the packaging? I don't know where the packaging is. I'm working on some star treat boxes for the kids. So I cut the boxes out. They just need to be folded. I don't know. Can you see? Yeah, you can see all the score lines. So it needs to be folded and put together. And then in this box, I'm going to put a little bit of cash for each of the kids and some, if I can get some candy, put some candy in there, like kisses or something. And then I will just stick these into the tree. My grandparents, when they would come over, they would always come on Christmas Eve and drop off gifts. And we always got envelopes, and inside those envelopes was cash. And so the envelopes they would put in the tree branches, and it was just like you knew what was in those envelopes. It was a really pretty Christmas card and cash. So I kind of remembered that, and I thought this would be really cute to do that with. Now I could poke a hole in the top of the star, however this works up, and string so it could be an ornament, but I really think just tucking them into the tree would be magical. So that's what I'm going to do. And then on the outside, I started decorating my little things that'll go on the front. And I clearly I'm not done. But I thought this would be really cute to do on the outside. So they get like a little decorated treat box because, that's what I do. So I did do that last week. I did have a start. I talked about wanting to do an ornament and hang it on each of their stockings so that they would know which stocking was theirs. I started that. I am using the Advent calendar. I think it's the Advent calendar from Crocette a Go-Go 2020. So I picked it. I'm starting with one. I've got a couple of the motifs that are used, and I'm gonna work on those. I did a little bit of stitching. I did a lot on the weekend, and then when I started over again on Monday, you'll see. I didn't even finish threads through one or two of the projects. And then some haul came in. But let's go ahead and start with my new start. If I can, I will pop a picture in. But this is my new start. I'm not sure. I think this might be 28 count flax, or it might be a 32. I'm not sure. But this is going to be one of the ornaments. I'm not thinking it's going to fit on a 2.5 inch. I think it's too big. Yeah. I think it's going to have to fit on a 3-inch circle. So a little bigger than what I was envisioning, but I like it. I think it'll be fine. So this is like a cupcake or some kind of a wrapped pastry. It's got candy canes and peppermints coming out. This is going to be for one of the girls. So pinks and teals. That's how far I got on that one. And my goal is to finish that this weekend, and start the next one and make some really good progress on the next one, because I am feeling like I am out of time. And once I measure this one, I'm going to see if I have a pre-cut circle. Otherwise, I know Nicole Spore had talked about an Etsy shop that will pre-cut sticky circles for you in whatever size you want, and I might have to order. So I want to get this done, figure that piece of it out. I think the rest of them, because they all go into like a calendar, they're all going to be the same size. So I think once I figure this one out, the rest will fall into place. But these are the colors that I pulled. I just went into my stash. I'm not using any of the called fors. And I just pulled some colors I thought they might like. For the guys, I might switch this up a little bit. I mean, they're not going to get minty green and pink, so they'll probably get more of the traditional red and greens. So 321 and 935 and 937, and maybe a darker red as well. We'll see how that all goes. But yeah, so I've got some teals. I've got a minty green, a little bit darker minty green. The backing, I'm not sure. I don't think I have any pink or teal Christmas fabric, so I'll have to figure that piece of it out. But I want to do the two sides, so it'll just be like a disc ornament with some kind of a trim. So using what I have, just bought the pattern, and I think it's going to be really cute. That was my new start. My Friday focus, because I went in late yesterday, I did spend some time working on Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. This one I'm picking up pretty much every Friday, and this is what I'm stitching on until it's done. And when I was done stitching last night, I laid it all out, and I really am very close to getting it finished. I don't think it'll be next week, but I think it could be by the end of the year. It's upside down. But this is where I'm at. So I started working on this butterfly. I think I added these pink little like starbursty things, and then I worked on these in the gold, and there's one down here. But look, I mean, it's very close to being done. I am stitching this on 28 count Artichoke by Wichelt. So it's got a little bit of a green cast to the fabric, but I really do like it for this piece. So it will be nice if I can get this done this year, and then I can order a frame. Speaking of frames, my frame came in for land that I love. I picked out a frame. It's about that wide, so maybe about maybe about 2 inches wide. Fairly ornate, but I feel like it's ornate in a vintage kind of way. And the description said high gloss, but when you looked at the photographs, it looked like there were some, like the relief patterns were muted. So I thought, well, I don't think I'm going to mind the high gloss because you've got all of this other muted tones in the molding, and that should be fine. Well, I get it in, and I was so excited. No idea how excited I was. And I open it up, and I'm like, oh, high gloss, the whole thing, high gloss. It looks shiny, almost plasticky, which for another piece would be fine, but for land that I love, that's really got a nice vintage prim feel to it. So I called them and I said, I slept on it. I don't like it. What are my options? Well, you can take it and you can send it back. I'm like, okay. She goes, we won't pay for postage. I'm like, okay. She said, and then you get a full refund. I'm like, okay. She goes, or you can keep the frame and we will give you half back in a credit. I'm like, okay. So this thing came, I mean, it's a 20 by 20 frame roughly, and it came in a pretty big flat box. So I have to find a box. I mean, I have that one, but if I can find a smaller box that will work, I will do that to send it back in. And then I was going to do that today, but I got busy cleaning and wrapping presents, and you know how it goes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get that wrapped up. I do have a postage scale here, so I think I can kind of figure out how much it would cost to ship it back. If it costs less than half, I think I'm going to go ahead and send it back and order a different one. So I found a different frame. I do want black, but this one has a little bit more it says it's more of an antique finish, so I think I'll be much happier with that one. So we'll see. Fingers crossed that all works out to my advantage. I hate paying for shipping. The other thing that I might do is I do have the poppies piece, and it's a fairly big one, so I may bring that one out and measure it and see if it will fit. My margins are very tight on that one, and measure it and see if I can make that work. And if that's the case, that shiny frame would look amazing with the poppy piece, because there's black, a lot of black in that piece with all of the poppy colors of the reds and the oranges and the golds and the yellows. So that would be stunning. So before I do all of that, I'm also going to take out the poppy piece, measure it. And I think the frame might be just a skosh too big. We shall see. So that's my tale of woe. Okay. I did pull out Sugar and Spice by Brenda Gervais. I am stitching this on 40 count Cappuccino Newcastle linen. Yep, that's as far as I got. I got the green in the one window, and I started the green in that top window. That's it. That's all I got done. Yeah. Can you see why I got frustrated? But it'll be cute when it gets done. I was really hoping this one would be a finish this year, and I'm not sure that that's going to happen. I am using the called for colors. They're really pretty Christmassy colors. I may tap into this color palette for the ornaments for the guys, because I think it's a really nice classic palette. What are you going to do? You know, sometimes you just have those kinds of weeks. Okay. Gingerbread Man sewing book. I had a little bit of struggle with this one. I went back and I read to make sure that I started on the right fabric. I did start on the right fabric, so I thought, try it again. And if you still have trouble, then find something else. So I think I was struggling the first time. I think my eyes were giving me trouble. I think I was tired because I sat down and basically in one evening, I almost got him completely outlined. And I really, really like it. I think what I'm going to do with him, it's possible he may get stitched twice. We'll see. I think what I'm going to do with him first, though, is I am going to make him into like a stuffy. So she, Stacy Nash on the Jingle Ball, did a class for Ginger, but didn't have a Ginger to work on, so she pulled out the Gingerbread Man and worked on him and made him into a stuffy. And I loved that idea. So like an animal cracker Gingerbread Man. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. And I will do the back. So that'll be a little tricky, but I think I can make it work. I do love the color of this fabric. My eyes have to be in the right mood for stitching, but I do really, really love it. Called for, I bought the kit, so called for everything. That's all the stitching I got done. Touched a lot of things, did not get very far on a lot of things. What are you gonna do? Haul. My order from Simon Says Stamp came, so I bought a few packages of these from Tim Holtz. And these you can, let's see, if I can pull one out. So these you can decorate, and then this is the backing that will go on the back. And I don't think I'm going to get any done this year, but I was thinking these might be really cute to make up for, I've seen them with Halloween things in them. Nicole Spohr did a little snowman and made it into an ornament. So there's a lot that can be done. They do give you the template to cut out for the backing if you want to mount something, so you know the size to cut it. But I really do, I'm excited to have these. And I think this was a freebie. So the new Snowflake Rosette die. That's what it looks like. So it cuts it out. I think you cut it twice. Maybe 3 times. And then you fold it, adhere the ends together, and there you go. You've got your rosette. And then I picked up this Radiant Burst die. And, you know, a bluebird. I mean, it's not a bluebird. It's a die, but I can make it in any color I want, including blue. So I thought she was sweet, so I picked up that. And then my Letters to Cupid collection came in. So I got the Fat Quarter bundle. And let's see if we can do this easily here. Lots of cute prints in all the colorways. The florals are fantastic. So I picked up one of these. I can see quilty goodness coming out of these for Valentine's Day. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I did pick up 2. I thought I picked up 2. Yes, 2 charm packs. These are 5-inch squares. And this is the fabric that's in each of those. And my yardage. Told you, Lorraine. I went crazy on this stuff. It is such a pretty collection. So there's hearts in the center of each of those diamonds. Well, where the points meet. I got that. And Cupid and the birds. This one. And let's see. An easy way to show you the floral. This floral is the prettiest. I really do like it. So I got the floral and the red background, the pink background. And the white background. Project bags. I would love a Valentine's tote. So yeah, I went big, you know, go big or go home. This time I went big. So I'm very excited to have these. I'm looking forward to, after the holidays, I have some time, so I'm hoping to get some sewing in. I want to work through some of the mini charm packs that I have to make project bags. I'd like to work some of these up. Let's just see how far I get. I only have like maybe 11, 12 days, so I would like only... But you've got the holidays in there, so I'd really like to plan, like, these 2 days I'm going to straighten my craft room. These 2 days I'm going to work on my super secret project. These 2 days I'm going to sew. These 2 days I'm going to stitch. We'll see, because as we learned this week, plans don't always work out the way that you want them to. So yeah, so that is kind of what I've been up to this week. Not a whole lot. I'm still waiting for Christmas to get my new chair. A Christmas Eve stitching. I know a lot of people do the 12 by 12. I can't stitch for 12 hours straight. So I'm going to assume that something just fell naturally and that there's not a critter in my room. That would be devastating. I heard something in the background. I am not sure what I'm going to do. I've been contemplating this. We're getting closer. I probably should have a plan. Part of me wants to pull out Hometown and work on Hometown, the Hometown Sal that's finishing up this month, all New Year's Eve, maybe even New Year's Day. So I haven't quite decided. I also want to spend a good many hours on the project I'm working on for my husband, the Star Wars project. I don't want that to lament in my whip pile for the 40 years it might take me to make it. I would love to get past less than 1% finished. It is hard because it's a lot of black on white and a lot more confetti than what you would think by looking at the chart pattern. So I might put a good chunk of time in on that. But I also want to finish up Christmas stitching. I also want to finish up some snowflake, like winter stitching. So I'm really torn. I don't know I'm even going to have time. Like, I don't know what's happening. My husband, I think, has the day after Christmas off and or the day after New Year's off. I'm not 100% sure. So that always throws a wrench into things because then he's home and he wants to do things, which is fine. But then that means I'm not sitting and just stitching. So I'm really not sure how this is going to work out. The way I feel today right now, I'm just going to pull out whatever I want to stitch and stitch it until I'm done stitching it, whether it's a finish or I've reached my limit with it for the time being. But I don't know which project that is. I will do a whip parade, probably the Saturday after Christmas. And I will do, I think I have several new starts, like kitted projects, And so I might go through that and then go through plans as well. I am really kind of surprised at how few holiday, like Christmas holiday stitching things I have going on. And I think that's because I only stitch Christmas for a couple of weeks during the year. So I think what I'm going to do, as much as I don't want to break up and segment my stitching, I think what I'm going to do is on the 25th, maybe even the 24th of each month, I'm going to pull out Christmas and stitch Christmas. Only Christmas on those 2 days or one day, just to see if I can at least move some of those projects along. I don't want to do that for every holiday. Like, I don't want to spend like the 13th and the 31st stitching on Halloween, because I don't want to lock myself in. And of course I can stitch what I want, whenever I want, on whatever day I want. But I feel like if I have, oh, it's the 25th today, I need to stitch something Christmas, maybe I will feel better and have some cute things ready for next holiday season. So that's kind of where I am at. I know a lot of people out there are planning their 12 by 12s for New Year's Eve, their blessings samplers. I'm not going to do a blessing sampler. Not that I don't want the blessings. I just don't want to dedicate that much time to one particular piece. My goal for sure is to bring down my whip count, and I'm sure I'll have a lot of new starts this season, but I also want to get some things finished. So that's kind of where I'm at on that thought. Yeah. So today we have to run to my mom's when my husband gets off work. I don't know what we're doing for dinner, but I've been on my feet for a few days, pretty much all day long. My ankle is bothering me. Oh, my son is marching with the Marine, his Marine platoon, in a local parade tomorrow. Would really love to go see him. He'll be in his dress blues. I'm sure he'll be so handsome. And I really do want to go see him. So that means I really need to stay off of my foot. I've been on my feet since 7 a.m. this morning. So I really need to take it easy the rest of the day so that I can comfortably be on my feet until we see him walk by at the parade, assuming we can figure out where it is. He's not even quite sure where it is. They will probably bus them all over. It's usually how they do it. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think that'll be fun. And yet one more 4 or 5 hour period of time that I can't get shopping done, or, stitching done, or holiday crafting of any kind done, or baking, or, any of the things. So I think I'm going to take the pressure off of myself. I'm going to stitch what I need to stitch. I'm going to enjoy what I'm stitching. Of course, I'll come back next week. It might be another video like this where I've only touched 4 things. I don't know. And we'll just kind of play the next couple of weeks out as they come. I don't want to stress myself out during the season. I've, done that enough over the years. I don't want to do it this year as well. So, do you guys agree? Do you get stressed out in the holidays? I think I'm stressed out only because I'm hosting. And I'm not sure how many people I'm hosting. I never really know how many people I'm hosting. I plan for 20, and sometimes I have 10, sometimes I have 18, sometimes I have, 12. But I make sure that I'm ready for everyone, and then we go from there. It's the other thing I have to do. I have to make my grocery list. It'll be okay. It will be okay. So that is it for me this week. I hope that you all have a great rest of your weekend. I hope that your week ahead is productive, calm, festive, whatever it needs to be. I hope that it is for you. And until next time, if you haven't done so already, and you liked my ramblings, please hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, share the video, like the video, comment on the video. I do love to read the comments. I do respond to the comments either with a little heart emoji, or I'll actually respond if I've got a few minutes. I'll write back to you. It does brighten my day. I do get the messages. They pop up pretty much when you hit send. It pops up on my phone. I can't jump in right then and there and do it because oftentimes I'm at work, but it kind of helps. Like, I read your comment and I chuckle and then I go back to my job. So I just love, I love the little community that we're building here. So with that being said, have a great week ahead, and we'll see you next time. Happy stitching.